the incredible shrinking playoff odds. I'm Mike Fisher, your trusty and trusted reporter. This is the Fishbowl. That is the star. We'll be inside the building today. Welcome to breakfast at Fish and Ease. A dark cloud time for the Dallas Cowboys in so many ways, but we're going to battle through it. We'll battle through it with you. Get in, get on, be good. I'll read all your comments as always. Thank you to BetUS for helping us muscle up for this program. There are clearly two directions being traveled in the NFC East, and it's like Noah's Ark. Well, one of them's going to Noah's Ark, 2x2. The other one's getting on the Titanic, 2x2. Two teams pairing to travel in one direction, two teams pairing to travel in the other. The Primrose Path, Washington Commanders are on that. They got Jaden Daniels. They got our old friend Dan Quinn. They are 7-2. They were buyers at the trade deadline. 7-2 record, by the way, for the first time since 1996. So I know it's been tough in Cowboy Nation, but other teams do have it tougher. They have positioned themselves as serious contenders, not only in the NFC East, but beyond. Daniels, number 2 pick in the draft, centerpiece of their offense. They have a 3-game winning streak that they had recently built to get their way up to 7-2. Then there's the Eagles, dysfunctional last year, even with their good record. Well, now they seem functional, and they've got a good record. They're 6-2. They come to Dallas on Sunday, of course. We'll be inside the building. Sunday, 7-point favorites, 7-point road favorites for the Eagles, in large part, obviously, because of Cowboy injury issues, which we'll get to in a minute. BetUS, by the way, great partners with us here. Go to BetUS, betus.com, use the promo code YouTube150 and get yourself the 150% discount on your investment in winning up to $2,000. So go get it at betus.com. Then there's the Rocky Path. There's the Primrose Path. Here's the Rocky Path. That's where the 2-7 Giants are stuck in this conference, in this division. And that's where the Cowboys are holding hands with them along that path. Cowboys' struggles are in part the results of injuries. As we told you last night, and we've been trying to tell you since the Cowboys made their IR reveal, there are different grades of hamstring injuries. Yes, Fox Sports 1, you could have a hamstring injury and come back in a week. You could have another hamstring injury and come back in 2. You could have another hamstring injury, grade 3 plus, I suppose, and need surgery. Dak Prescott's hamstring injury is hamstring torn off the bone. Jane Slater, NFL Network, first to note that. Shame on you, FS1. As I noted in our review of their work, luckily, for the better part of the football world, nobody actually watches them. So you don't have Dak. CeeDee Lamb's going to try to give it a go. Micah's going to try to give it a go, but you haven't had him for a month. Tank Lawrence, haven't had him for a while, not ready yet. Deron Bland hasn't been able to do anything yet. Maybe he pops up. Brandon Cooks wants to play this week. 14 injuries or so in the first 9 weeks of the season, and now you got the Dak thing. And then they've played poorly across the board. Big reputation players not playing big. And then, of course, one more thing that you know about here, 72,000 fish heads in Cowboy Nation know it, the burden of the blow-it-up plan. This roster was not fortified in ways that would help it be a 12-win team again. It would have been quite spectacular had this group lost 11 rotational / starters and won 12 games again. It wasn't going to happen. And we know it wasn't going to happen here. Our bet was it wasn't going to happen here, not 12 wins. We saw some of this coming. You did, I did. We predicted that blow it up could ruin the brotherhood theme. And the way we did it was pretty fundamental. If we all work in an office together and the boss tells you you've got a 1-week contract and we'll see after that, we are on eggshells. And if we have a bad week, and over the course of having a bad week, we've already been told ownership doesn't believe in us. And we've already heard the whispers of who might even replace us. And I'm talking about everybody on the coaching staff and 35 one-year contracts on the roster. So then you lose a game or lose a player or get in an argument, that brotherhood starts to come apart just a little bit, and the blow it up starts to come into focus. Interestingly, odds makers, and I didn't really notice this at the time, odds makers apparently did not see this coming. ESPN points this out. Now, they use their own stupid ESPN computer to do it. I said many times, I love a computer. How do we get by without a computer? The information that a computer spits out at us is only as good as the information that a sports writer or a computer geek or somebody's mother-in-law puts into it. The computer doesn't just know all by itself what's going on with the Cowboys, the Commanders, the Giants, and the Eagles. Somebody has to tell the computer what's going on or what they think's going on. Well, somebody in Bristol decided that the Cowboys this year were going to be really, really good. Somebody in Bristol decided the Cowboys were going to be the fourth best team in the NFC. Not a ridiculous notion, but I wouldn't have put money on it. The ESPN analytics computer going into the year said the Cowboys were a 63% good bet on making the playoffs. That's a beard scratcher. And it's not just a beard scratcher because of where they are now. It's just a beard scratcher. They could get some of these injuries fixed. Not all of them, and not soon enough to get 12 wins. They could get some of these injuries fixed. I appreciate that Micah Parsons and others are saying, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. A subject of discussion around here. 63% good bet on making the playoffs, according to ESPN Analytics. I think back now, and you do too, a very passionate Cowboy fan like you might have thought with an optimistic heart, hey, we win 12 games every year. Why can't we do it again? Even with a rebuilt offensive line that would have required two rookies to be spectacular. They haven't been. A wide receiving core where, and we do this every year at training camp. Look at this. Tolbert really gets it this time. Brooks is as good as Tolbert. Ryan Flournoy might be better than all of them. Do this every year at training camp. That hasn't come to fruition. Zeke still looks pretty good to me. We don't need a running back. We're going to gobble up. They did a little late. We're going to gobble up run-stopping defensive tackles. It's going to be Mozzie and these other guys, including Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips cut this week. If we got a cornerback that we don't like, we're going to trade him for a cornerback we do like. They did that with Andrew Booth. Andrew Booth cut this week. We're loaded at safety. Yeah, but there's a lot of safeties here, but they all seem really one-dimensional. Trayvon Diggs is completely 100% healthy. I don't know. Overshown. Not that he hasn't played well. He's going to the Pro Bowl. No, he's not. So we all do this. Get to training camp in Oxnard. The sun is yellow. The sea is blue. The grass is green. The halter tops are white. And everybody's great. But not this year. Because you can't lose 11 guys and replace them with Eric Kendricks and think you're going to do the same thing that the 11 gone guys just did. So we saw some of this coming. I was not aware at the time that the ESPN computer was telling the world that the Cowboys had a 63% chance of making the playoffs and were the fourth best team in the NFC. Philadelphia, San Francisco, Detroit, and then I do see the logic of a mad scramble, a big cluster of teams. But I don't believe I predicted the Cowboys were better than the Packers because I just saw the two teams play. I don't know that any of us thought Minnesota was going to be as good as Minnesota's been. Oh, by the way, Atlanta. We did see Atlanta being as good as it is. And the Buccaneers, who have they've been devastated by injuries too. Buccaneers are still hanging on. I don't think any of us saw Washington doing any of this. Seattle, foundationally good. Rams, maybe a bounce back. So the Cowboys running away with a playoff spot, I didn't see that then. Obviously, we don't see it now. Here's the shocking, incredible, shrinking number. The Cowboys, 2 months ago or so, a 63% good bet to make the playoffs. The chance, that same computer now, that chance being given of the Cowboys of making the playoffs now is a shocking, incredible shrinking 3%. We have talked about the Cowboys looking themselves in the mirror and admitting what they are. I don't think they've done that. And that's okay. They get to be competitive. The trade deadline's gone now. It doesn't matter anymore. But we should do that. We should do that. I don't want to give too much respect to the computer that said 63%, so I won't give too much credence to the computer that now says 3%, but that is a shocking and incredible shrinking number. Thank you, BetUS. Thank you to everybody here, Cowboys fans in Fish Nation. We'll see you at cowboyscountry.com all day long and Fish at 6 Live tonight. Fish out.